Okay, let's dive in. For the past few sessions, we've been really detailing the architecture of this new civilization.
A society built not on currency, but on universal well-being.
Exactly. We stripped out all the administrative waste, the power structures that extract, the time of life from people.
And we did all that on a really radical, self-imposed budget.
That's the key.
The entire promise of this society that needs no owners is a 4-hour workday, maximum.
Yeah.
And only 2 of those hours, just 120 minutes, have to cover every single essential need.
And we've shown that you can get premium service on that budget. We've already costed out housing, health, education, and utilities. And they all came in at a surprisingly low total.
Just 64 minutes of work per day.
64 minutes. Let's just quickly recap that.
Yeah, good idea. So world-class education, from prenatal all the way to college, that was about 26 minutes.
Okay.
Then you have preventative, self-sufficient healthcare for about 13 minutes. Flexible, zero-debt housing in that hotel residential model, that's 19 minutes. And all the utilities, air, water, energy, with radical efficiency, that was a mere 6 minutes.
So if you're keeping score, 64 minutes are locked in. That means we have 56 minutes left in the budget.
Right.
And now we come to it. The biggest, most visceral test of this entire project, food.
Yeah.
This is chapter 10 of the source material.
And this is where that ancient wisdom from Hippocrates, let food be thy medicine, it becomes a matter of pure survival.
It's not just about nutrition.
No, it's about planetary mathematics. If we fail here, the whole thing falls apart. I mean, without a resilient, sustainable food supply, there is no civilization.
Which is why this is such a critical deep dive.
Yeah.
We have to feed 10.3 billion people with dignity within planetary limits and fit it all into that 56-minute buffer.
So the question is, does it break the budget?
Is this where it all proves to be impossibility?
Well, you immediately run into this paradox of abundance. The sources confirm that globally we already produce over 3,000 kilocalories per person per day.
So we have enough food. Way more than enough, actually.
It's a 50% surplus of calories overall. So the food is there. The system is what's broken.
A catastrophe of distribution.
Precisely. It's the distribution and, crucially, the type of food. I mean, despite that surplus, you have 700 million people suffering from hunger and over 3 billion who can't afford a healthy diet. Because
all those surplus calories are being funneled into one specific system.
Into a catastrophically inefficient system, animal agriculture.
And that leads right to the, let's call it the inconvenient question the source material poses.
Which is?
Can 10.3 billion people eat like a modern developed world citizen?
Yeah.
Can everyone have cheap daily meat?
And the absolute answer, backed by all the data, is a resounding no. Not even close.
Just no.
If the entire global population tried to replicate the current Western diet, we'd need to increase meat production by somewhere between 140 and 185%.
Wow.
The planet just doesn't have the land, the water, or the capacity to handle that. It's physically impossible.
And the scale of what we're already doing is stunning. The book forces you to confront a cost we just, ignore.
The number of lives?
Around 260 billion conscious lives. That's 73 billion chickens, 4.5 billion mammals, and 180 billion fish killed every single year.
You have to pause on that number just to internalize the sheer scale of that machine. And when you look past the emotional cost and get to the hard numbers, the inefficiency is just staggering.
Let's talk about the energy conversion ratio, the FCR.
Right. FCR is basically how many calories you put in versus what you get out.
And the beef industry often quotes a pretty manageable number, right? Something like 25-1 based on weight.
Yeah, but that's misleading. The sources focus on the calories that actually matter for human energy. And the math there is, it's brutal.
How brutal.
When you track the entire 18-month bovine cycle, all the feed, the pasture, everything, you find that we invest about 12.4 million kilocalories of food input.
12.4 million.
Okay.
And what do you get back in actual usable meat calories?
You get just 192,000 kilocalories back.
That's tiny. So the conversion rate is?
It's about 65-1. 65 calories of food invested for every single calorie you receive. That alone makes it a terrible business model.
Wait, I remember reading that the sources say the total ratio is closer to 90-1. Where does that extra cost come from? That seems mathematically impossible.
And that is the essential insight of this chapter. The 65-to-1 is just the biological conversion. You also have to factor in the fossil fuel energy.
For the infrastructure itself.
Exactly. The diesel for tractors, the natural gas for fertilizer, transportation, refrigeration, all of it.
And that adds up too.
It adds an extra 25 calories of fossil fuel energy for every calorie of meat output. So you take your 65-to-1, you add 25-to-1, and you get a total conversion ratio of 90-to-1.
90-to-1.
The source material doesn't mince words. It calls this, mathematically, the worst business in human history.
So that's just the input costs?
Yeah.
But the hidden externalities, that's where the price tag truly explodes. Costs that we all pay for, not the consumer directly.
Absolutely. Let's start with health costs. To keep all those animals alive in confined spaces, the industry uses massive amounts of antibiotics.
Right.
The data shows that by 2030, a shocking 73% of all global antibiotic production will go into livestock.
Which leads directly to antimicrobial resistance, or RAM. That's a global crisis.
It is. The O'Neill Review estimated RAM could cost the world $100 trillion by 2050. When you trace that cost back to the source, RAM adds a hidden cost of about 27% to the price of meat.
So you're paying a quarter more than you think just to deal with the health crisis it creates.
And that's before you even get to the direct health impacts of the product itself. The World Health Organization has classified processed meat as a carcinogen.
And red meat is a probable carcinogen.
Exactly. And the diseases associated with that diet, heart disease, colorectal cancer, they burden the entire public health system. That adds another estimated 19% in hidden costs.
So add the RAM tax and the disease tax, you're already at a hidden 46% tax on meat. But the environmental cost is what really makes it unsustainable.
Oh, completely. If you were to actually internalize the climate damage, the land degradation, the water, the emissions studies show the price of beef should be 173% higher.
So the real price tag for a steak is more than 3 times what you pay at the checkout.
3.2 times if the damage was actually accounted for. And the resources needed for that, they just aren't there.
The water problem seems like the most obvious impossibility.
Think about it. 1 kilogram of beef uses 15,500 liters of water. To try and scale that for 10 billion people is, well, it's a logistical fantasy.
And the land use comparison really just seals the deal.
It really does. The source material gives this powerful visual. Take 2 hectares of land. Over 2 years, you can use it to feed 1 person with meat.
1 person.
Or you can use that same land to feed 443 people with potatoes.
443.
This system isn't a victim of scarcity. It is an architect of radical mathematical inefficiency.
Okay, so the diagnosis is clear. The current diet is bankrupting our time, our health, and the planet. This means the new society has to have a non-negotiable solution.
And that's the key shift. The solution is a transition to an ovo-lacto-vegetarian diet. So, eggs, dairy, grains, vegetables, no meat or fish.
And this isn't presented as some kind of, painful sacrifice.
Not at all. It's presented as the single most intelligent choice for survival and for planetary regeneration.
And what's so fascinating is how that one choice creates these immediate cascading benefits for the whole system, for the whole cellula.
It solves the water problem instantly. Abolishing meat drops the average daily water needs from, 1,782 liters down to just 232 liters per day.
Which means local rainwater collection is suddenly completely viable.
Entirely sufficient, even in dry periods. And it delivers on that core principle of regenerative harmony.
Because the loop is closed.
Yes, all the organic waste goes into biodigesters. Those produce methane for energy and, crucially, organic fertilizer. That goes right back to the fields. You close the sacred carbon cycle by design.
But for many listeners, eliminating meat still sounds like, a sacrifice. And this society promises excellence. How does it turn this necessity into a luxurious lifestyle upgrade?
By leveraging the time saved. In this new society, food is delivered through a high-end, 5-star restaurant system located right in your condominium.
So you trade the inefficiency of 1 billion separate home kitchens for a professional, centralized service.
Exactly. Imagine having professional chefs and nutritionists preparing 3 perfect, organic, fresh meals a day for you. With incredible variety, you might have condos that specialize in different world cuisines.
What stands out to me is what this eliminates from your life. It's not just about eating. It's the end of grocery shopping, meal prep, menu planning, dishwashing.
All of it. You're buying back hours of your personal time every single week. That's the luxury. You're trading your time, which is your life, for universal 5-star quality.
Okay. The necessity, the ethics, the lifestyle benefit, It's all there. Let's get to the final math. How much time did this high-end regenerative system actually cost us?
So we needed to cost two things, the farming and the restaurant service. For agricultural production, the sources estimate using about 6% of the active population working in 2 4-hour shifts.
And that cost?
It comes in at approximately 19 minutes per day per active person.
19 minutes for all the farming. And for the 5-star restaurant service.
Yeah.
The chefs, cleaners, nutritionists, the whole staff.
That comprehensive service cost is about 29 minutes per day per active person.
So let me get this straight. Total cost for a regenerative food system delivered by a 5-star restaurant, 19 minutes plus 29 minutes.
Comes to 48 minutes per day.
48 minutes.
48 minutes.
This is the moment of truth. Let's do the final tally. Our previous essentials, education, health, housing, utilities, cost us 64 minutes.
64.
We now add this superior regenerative food system at 48 minutes.
So 64 minutes plus 48 minutes. That brings our total cost for every fundamental pillar of universal excellence to 112 minutes.
1 hour and 52 minutes. We have guaranteed a life of universal excellence, including a 5-star restaurant in your home, and we are still 8 minutes under the 2-hour budget.
This is the definitive proof of viability, and it required no massive technological breakthrough. It just required the courage and the intelligence to change our habits.
To abolish an industry whose hidden costs were literally bankrupting and killing our civilization.
And that 8-minute buffer, plus the massive shift in land use, think what that buys us for global survival.
Well, what does it buy us?
It achieves the final critical goal. By liberating millions of hectares of land from livestock, you allow forests to regenerate. Those forests capture colossal amounts of CO2.
And when you combine that with the carbon-negative design of the cellula...
The climate crisis doesn't just halt. The source materials conclude that it is reversed by design.
That is just a stunning synthesis. A simple change in diet frees up the time, the resources, and the carbon capacity to fundamentally save the world.
The problem was never a lack of resources or tech. It was a corrupt economic structure and a self-destructive habit we were too afraid to calculate correctly.
So we've done it. Universal excellence, all 5 pillars, for under 2 hours of work a day. That leaves our second 2 hours free for resilience, strategic reserves, and pure leisure.
The freedom achieved is just astonishing, and it sets up our next deep dive perfectly.
Because with time maximized and debt eliminated, the question becomes about possessions.
Right. And this leaves us with a final provocative thought for you, the listener. If all your fundamental needs are met, if you are truly free from debt, and your time is your most valuable resource, why would you choose to own anything you don't use daily?
And how is it possible, as the source material hints,